Hey guys, it's Kay from Cater, and I'm out here in the garden on August 27th. It's a beautiful day. It's finally cool enough to be back here. I haven't actually been able to be outside for about a week because it's been so hot. It's just been unbearable. But it's beautiful this morning, so I came out to clean up and to shoot your tour. So it's about a week since I shot my last one, and this week I just want to show you some of my other plants that I have in the garden this year, as well as my cannabis plants. We'll take a look at how they're flowering. So here we go. Okay, we're going to start with my yellow hibiscus that I kept indoors all winter. This was given to me over the winter. I moved it outside. It's just gotten gigantic. I'm not sure what I'm going to do with it. I would really love to get this in the ground somewhere and try to winterize it so that it's a perennial. Everyone is telling me to bring it indoors. Regardless, I'm going to be making some cuttings. I've been watching YouTube videos on that. I think this plant is absolutely beautiful. And the yellow, it's a bit hard to find. So I'll keep you posted on that project. Here's my vertical garden. It's kind of scraggly and weedy, but I like it. Everything kind of got tall, and I just like how natural it is. Here we just got some spinach and some Swiss chard that I sprouted for the animals. Over here I have some morning glory that I planted that a neighbor gave me. It's kind of growing a bit late, and then here's a bit more morning glory kind of coming up. I have had some blooms on that. Here is my raspberry that I just pruned, so I cut off all the dead, and I'm just letting this stuff just grow till the end of the season. Obviously it's not producing fruit anymore. When I pruned my raspberry, I left the branches that had woven into this trellis, and I'm really excited about this. Was one of my projects for this year, this living trellis, where I started with some arches and just some sticks and some meshing that I put together, and then my grapevine and my raspberry all grew into it. And when I prune these plants, I'm going to leave all these branches that have grown in really naturally, and I hope that every year it'll build up more and more. So I love this. And there's my first pruning, so my first start. Here you can see a tomato. So I have planted tomatoes in underneath here. I did just cut back the grape yesterday as well, just to make some more airflow and some more light. This is a plum that I grew, or that was given to me, sprouted from seed, and I've had that for, oh gosh, coming up to a year probably. This is a Japanese hibiscus that I went out of my way to purchase, and again, I wanted to add it in this living trellis. It hasn't flowered yet, but it did grow, so I'm really happy about that. It is perennial and apparently really invasive, so hopefully it will just go crazy. These are my grapes. They're kind of wine grapes. They're not really great for eating, but I would like to make wine someday. And then in here again, we've got more tomatoes growing up. And here's my other plum. Was also sprouted from a seed and given to me. And I put this one outside earlier than the other one, and look at how much taller it is. So I ended up bringing her sister outside as well to give her some opportunity to enjoy the outdoors. More tomatoes, 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 grapes, more tomatoes here in the back. This plant was a bit scraggly. I came out and worked on it yesterday. Again, more tomatoes here in the back. And then these are my strawberries that did not flower or produce fruit this year, but hopefully next year. They have really grown in from what I initially planted. I didn't plant these from seed. These were little plants that were given to me. This is a pepper plant, but it really looks like it's been devoured by animals or something, and that's okay. Of course, just past my lilac here, we get into some of the cannabis. This was a plant that I was going to give away, but then I didn't end up doing that, so I still have her. She did have a ton, well, not a ton, the most mildew on her, but I don't see any now, and she's in flower. Beautiful. We'll just pan over to this lady who, it's a week farther on, and she is fat. It's like the fattest of all my plants. It's just beautiful. I'm happy about that. And then, of course, all these ladies in here doing great. Yeah, everything's in flower, kind of various stages of flower. I did clean up these kind of hanging baskets. My peas did not do great in here this year. I've left a couple of lettuces that I just let bolt. Now it's just because I like to have plants and roots in the soil. But I'm thinking next year I might want to build an actual deeper bed along this fence, because I think that just the lack of space, unless it's just for flowers, nothing is really going to grow in there. So we'll just go around to the front and look at the other plants. But I did want to show you some of the other plants that I have in the garden. I was trying to grow more food this year, and the cannabis always takes over, which is fair. I mean, it's an expensive plant to buy, so it ends up taking up a lot of space in my garden, but that's okay. I do love to grow cannabis. These are, again, grown from seeds that were sprouted from fruit and given to me. These are lemons and limes. And then this is my lemon tree that was given to me a few years ago for Christmas. One of my clients gave me, and she produces beautifully. And actually this year, with the extra organic amendments I've been adding, I've got, I can see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 on here right now for such a small plant. So I've had that for a few years. All right, well, I don't want this to be too long, but lastly, this is a trumpet vine that's been growing here for years, ever since I bought the house. And this year it finally reached the roof, and I know people are funny about letting vines grow on their houses, but I love it. And I got my first bloom ever. So it is an orange trumpet vine. I had identified it, but I've never seen it flower. And then I realized that my neighbor over there has got it as well. So it must just have, come over. Anyway, that is very exciting to me to see. So here is the garden, August 27th. The tallest cannabis plants I've ever grown. And I do grow 8-foot plants regularly, and typically, in this garden. But this one here, the farthest one away, that's topping 10 feet. That's 10, 12 feet. Even the ones in the arch trellis back there, considering where they are in flower, and the flowers are going to get a bit taller, tallest plants I've ever grown. And I'm attributing it to the organic food, the organic approach, and also giving my plants more dirt to grow in. Because I really find that if they've got limited dirt, they only get so tall, and then that's it. So I think it is beautiful back here. I have my turtle out. I made her pen a bit smaller because I actually got an outdoor pen for my rabbits. I have 2 of them now, and I'm actually in the process of trying to bond them. So I needed to clear this space here so I could put an outdoor cage and try to give them some space. So I'll update you on that. I've never bonded rabbits before, and it's not going as smoothly as I would have hoped. All right, guys. Well, I won't take any more of your time, and I'll come back in a week or so and show you the updates. I really hope that you are enjoying this gorgeous grow season. Other than being dry, it's been darn near perfect. We had an early start. We had a lot of rain in the beginning, and then it really dried up, and it's just been hot, hot, hot. So other than having to really make sure everything is watered, it's been just the best. I mean, that watering your plants is a bad thing, but I know people sometimes complain about it. I have had to water this garden every day, though. It's been that dry. Okay, so again, hope you're enjoying your garden as much as I'm enjoying mine. Really excited for this home stretch of our 2021 grow, and I'll be back in a week. Until then, happy, healthy growing. You know that I am Kate from Cater, and I will be seeing you later.